Hey everyone, welcome back to Scorecard Collectibles. Dave here, and it is awesome to have your company for this preview of 2024 NRL Traders. We're going to go through all of the different cards that we can collect this year. Let's kick off with some important information. February 29th is the release date. Of course, check closer to that day just to make sure, because sometimes there are slight adjustments, but all going to plan, it should be in our hands on February the 29th. We again have retail as well as titanium. As you can see, it's $4 a pack for retail, $6 a pack for titanium. Basically, titanium gives you extra guaranteed hits as well as some really big hits that you can't find in retail. But we'll go through all of that. Now, kicking off with the commons, you can't have a card set without the commons. We've got 153 cards in the set, so that's 8 players per team, as well as the checklist card. And of course, we've got the Dolphins with their first Traders base set. Of course, we saw the Dolphins in Rivalry and Elite last year, but this is the first time we've got the Dolphins in a proper set in Traders. I like the design. It's a basic design, but I like it. I like the crisscross pattern in the background. And I like the 3D effect of the lines at the bottom, sort of crisscrossing. So you've got his left foot going over that white line, but then his right foot is got the navy stripe is going over. So it sort of creates a 3D effect. The Pearl Specials are back, of course. This is a parallel of the commons. So every player that has a common card has a parallel. They're Pearl Special. You can see the 3D effect with the legs at the bottom a bit better there with Ruben Cotter. I like that sort of 3D design-ish thing. It kind of gives you sort of depth of field. So the Pearl Specials are guaranteed one every pack. And returning from last year, we also have the Gold Specials. Now, these are only in titanium. So if you get a packet of retail, you're not going to have the chance of finding a Gold Special. You can only get them in titanium. They're one every 36 packs, so that is a box hit. And they're numbered to 82 per card. Rising Stars are back, of course. I love the design they've got for them this year. I love that, the star design. I love the color, the shards of color around the points of the star, as well as that the night sky background with the hue, the Titans colors. I think it looks really, really cool. I like the font that they've got Rising Stars in. So these are one every 3 packs. So you'll get 12 in a box, and there's 71 cards in the set. So that's 3 players per NRL team and 2 per NRLW. So it's good to see NRLW in the Rising Stars, and we'll have a few more NRLW cards in some of the other sets as well. So it sort of bumps up the amount of cards that you can collect, which is always very fun. Season to Remember, of course, is back. These are one every 6 packs. So that is 6 per box, which I feel like is more than last year. I could be getting mistaken, but I feel like I found a Season to Remember a bit hard to collect last year. So very happy to see that we'll be finding 6 in a box. We've got 3 players per team. Let's see the whole effect. So this is the Broncos, 3 cards. Each team has 3 cards as per usual. But it seems that if a club has NRL and NRLW, there'll be 2 men's cards and 1 women's. Presumably, of course, if a team doesn't have an NRLW, then it will be 3 men's cards. I think this card is going to be divisive. I think people are going to love it or hate it. I love the psychedelic effect. It kind of reminds me of like late 60s, early 70s psychedelic designs. That big 23 with the sort of swirling lines. I love that. I really love that, but I can see people not liking it. Then we've got a brand new insert, World in League. There's 54 cards in this set. There's one every 9 packs, so you should find 4 in a box. NRL and NRLW players are represented, and it's about celebrating players from all over the world that play in the NRL. I've got Viliami Kikau there from Fiji. I love the idea of the cards. I think it's a great concept, but I wish that they represented the countries a bit better, because there's nothing about this card that says Fiji. There's nothing about the colors. There's no flag, and like, I get that they're unable, it's difficult for them to put players in their national jerseys because of licensing constraints. So I get that, and it's about celebrating players that are in the NRL, so it makes sense for them to be in their NRL jerseys. But I would have liked a little bit more flair for their countries. Otherwise, like, I think it's a really, really great idea. Then we've got NRLW, so we've got 60 cards in the set, so that's 6 players for each NRLW club. There's 12 every pack, so 12 every pack? No, I've got that around the back to front, don't I? 1 every 12 packs, so that's 3 in a box, which seems like, for a 60 card set, a bit difficult to collect all of them if you're only getting 3 in a box. But I love the design. I love that gold frame. I love the action shot's great. I love the sort of swooping colors with the black and white background. I love that. I think that looks really, really cool. And the club heroes are back. There is a 44 card set, which means we should have 2 players for every NRL team and 1 per NRLW. They're only 1 every 18 packs, so there'll be 2 in a box. This is a very much more understated design, but I'm a fan of that. I'm a fan of having minimalist as well as maximalist stuff in a design. It's nice to have a mixture, and this is definitely more on the pared down side. I like the gradient, or whatever you would call it, behind him in the team colors. I like that. Yeah, I think it's just a very simple design, but I think done well. Then we have the showcase caricatures. I love my caricature cards. We've got 18 cards in the set. So with 17 NRL teams, there should be some sort of header card or maybe a group card. They're 1 every 18 packs as well, so that's 2 per box. They've gone back to a more traditional caricature design after we've had the Power Heroes, and then before that was the Startoons. This is a very, very traditional caricature design. I love the comic book aspect to it with the speech bubbles and the panels. I'm a big fan of the sort of old school caricatures, so it's one of the things that Paul Harvey does so well. Yeah, no, I really like it. I like the team colors going on there as well. So very excited to see who that he's done for each team. Of course, the checklist, by the way, the checklist hasn't come out. Then we've got another new insert here. We've got Sword and Shield. Don't know why sword is such a hard word for me to say. I keep trying to say short, but no, it's Sword and Shield. 34 cards in the set, so we've got 2 players for each NRL club, 1 every 18 packs, so again that is 2 per box. So the Sword and Shield is kind of like this year's forwards and backs, or master and apprentice. We've got 2 players represented per team, and you've got the sword, so that's sort of the more attacking player, and then you've got the shield player who's sort of more of an offensive player. So I love that. I love the fantasy background. You got like a huge full moon, or it could be another planet. You've got like a glistening lake with mysterious fog and mountains, and that could be lightning or some sort of light. It just looks so cool. Very fantasy. I love the font, particularly that the O. It just looks really cool. I really like that. So that is Sword and Shield. Then we have NRLW Gold Parallels. So again, these are from the NRLW cards, the 60 card set. These are the Gold Parallels. They are numbered to 210. And it's also a box hit, so it's 1 every 36. But again, you'll only find these in titanium. So again, another titanium exclusive for the gold NRLW Parallels. We've got World in League Parallel. It's the 54 card set. So this is a box hit in both retail and titanium. So one every 36 packs. There looks like there's more color in the background of this, but it looks fairly similar to the World and League card, but just we've got a bit more color in the background, it seems. I think that looks really cool, actually. I really like the green, the Raiders green really pops in the background there. So yeah, I really like that design quite a lot more than the normal World and League. Although again, it doesn't really say New Zealand to me. But I mean, it's a very, very Raiders coloured card. But I really like that design, actually. Then we've got another box hit here, although this is a titanium exclusive. We've got the Sword and Shield team. So the two players that have their own cards, they'll be on one card together. So of course there's 17 cards in the set. It's one every 36 packs, so it's a box hit. Again, titanium only. Yeah, look, I really like it. If I have a mild criticism, I feel like the text boxes for the names are quite big and they take up quite a lot of space on the card. So they're it's almost like they're kind of being smushed in a smushing machine. Now, of course, wouldn't be traders without the retirement cards. We've got 15 for the retirement class of 2023, and they're one every 72 packs, so that's one every 2 boxes. We've got running machines this year. Running machines, we had scoring machines last year. Now we've got the running machines. So of course to celebrate players who have run the most meters for season 2023. There's one card for all NRL teams, one card for NRLW teams. They're numbered to 117 and they're titanium only. So another titanium exclusive here. And the running machines, it makes sense that they're a portrait card as opposed to the landscape that we had with the scoring machines, because if you're scoring, you're trying, and it makes more sense that the photo is going to be long ways. Running, going to be standing upright. So why not have a portrait sized card that makes sense? The design's very similar to scoring machines. Then we've got the authentic initials are back. Authentic initials, 27 cards. So 27 means we've got one for all of the NRL and NRLW teams. They're numbered to 212. Look, I love that design. I think that looks it's a lot better design than last year's. But I know these authentic initial cards have replaced the authentic foil signatures, which were essentially the fake signatures, which always felt a little bit disappointing when you got them because it wasn't a real signature. But I kind of miss them now because, I don't know, it just sort of feels a little deflating when you get the initials, because it means you haven't got a signed card. But I don't know, it's still, for how rare it is, I feel like, yeah, it's always just a tad disappointing when you get the initials. Although, granted, I think this design is really, really snazzy. So it's got that going for it. Premiership predictors, of course, 27 cards, 212 that they are numbered to each. It's very, very reminiscent of the common card design. It's basically the common card design. Yeah, I'm sure the logos will be that sort of gold dotty foil thing that I really like. Not much to say. Here we are, we've got the signatures. We have authentic signatures white. So the white versions, as you can see, it's got a white background. 27 cards, of course. They're numbered to 106. I really love this design. I think that looks awesome. Really, really big fan of this design. Yeah, just looks super, super snazzy. Love the team colors. I think it looks great. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can find some in our packs this year. That looks great. And so the authentic white signatures you can find in retail and titanium. However, we've got the much lower numbered authentic signature black. These are only in titanium. and they're only numbered to 39 per player. So considerably lower numbered. I think I like the white version just a bit better. The black, I like how the obviously like the signing portion has to be white, unless you're using a silver texture. But I like the continuity of having the white background all over versus just having it. But who knows, when we see it in person, well, hopefully I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Hopefully we see a black signature in person and I prove myself wrong. But yeah, the design I think is fantastic. I really like that. Here's something very special. Of course, the AFL collectors are very familiar with the Brownlow predictors. Now, for the very first time, TLA have introduced the Dally M predictor. So we've got one card for each NRL and NRLW team, so that's 27 cards. They're only numbered to 40 each, so that makes them very rare. You can only find this in titanium. You can only find the Dally M predictors in titanium, and if you get the predictor card for the team that wins, or the player that wins the Dally M, if you get their NRL or NRLW team, you win a signed card from that Dally M winner. That is absolutely awesome. So, and I love these sorts of predictors. The Brownlow predictors, so in AFL, there's, of course, the Premiership predictor, you got the Brownlow predictor, and then just recently they brought in the Coleman predictor as well as the Rising Star predictor. Getting those cards is very exciting, especially if you have somebody who is in contention. It just makes things super spicy and very exciting, and it gives you something a bit extra to enjoy and follow along. And there's often, sometimes there's a lot of drama. 2023 Dally M, that was the NRL winner there. That was a shock for, I think, a lot of people. There's drama. It makes things more dramatic, holding a card that could win. So I'm very excited about this. Hopefully, wow, just imagine if we pull one of those. That would be very, very, very cool. And finally, I've got one last card. Of course, wouldn't be Traders without a Legend signature or two. There is, of course, 2 Legends signatures. They're numbered to 208. As we can see, the Bulldogs' Terry Lamb is one of them. We'll have to wait for the checklist or a leak to find out about who the other Legend signature is. But the great thing is that you can find these in titanium and retail. So yeah, so the little kid that goes to the newsagents and picks up 1 or 2 packs of retail, they have just as much as chance of getting a Legend signature as the person who gets a case of hobby. I love that. So let's just go over this in one screen. The exclusive cards to titanium, the guaranteed box hit, so that's 1 every 36 packs. You got the gold special, the NRLW gold, so those are both numbered. And then you got the sword and shield team cards. Those are guaranteed if you get a box. Then you also have the chance of finding the rare running machines, authentic signature black version, and the Dally M predictor. You can only find those in titanium. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hopefully you had a lot of fun and you're just as eager for 2024 Traders as I am. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. Please consider hitting that subscribe button and a like button if you did enjoy the video. And I will be opening NRL Traders all season long, like we have done for a few years on the channel. And yeah, I'm super, super excited. Like I said, I'll probably do a video when the checklist gets released and we can have a look at what players we can collect. But until then, stay cool, take care. My name is Dave, this is Scorecard Collectibles, and I can't wait to see you next time.